Hi folks, I'm Divok and welcome to the Artificers Guild, the home of all things artifact. And welcome to our first of hopefully many deck guides. Today, I hope to go through with you a deck that I'm actually really enjoying right now. This is something that I hold quite close to my heart. I'm always one for trying to hear what other people think of the meta and maybe trying to find some way of beating it. So that's the entire purpose of today. If you've just joined the beta and you want to know how to beat control decks, which are all the rage right now, then this is the deck for you. I introduced to you Annihilation. Obviously, hopefully you get the joke, named after the Annihilation card that these blue control decks seem to revolve around, and just whacking a big old nope at the end of there, cutting them off mid-sentence, or mid-word I guess. So without further ado, let's go through the cards and I'll show you what's cracking. Starting out, we've got Kraken Shell. This is quintessentially incredibly important for this deck. Of course, it comes with Tidehunter as well, so you get more bang for your buck here. Specifically, Kraken Shell, this is our initiative gain card. At 1 mana, it beats out all the other initiative cards so far, because you can just keep spamming it if you're fighting for initiative with someone. But it also means that you can play other cards around it, you can play other cards before it, and still have that 1 mana to get the initiative for the next lane. And this entire deck revolves around getting initiative over blue control decks. Blue control decks want to swap to a lane and then immediately annihilate everything, get all the gold, double it with payday, and then come back with like 2 25 gold items, and you just can't stop that. But what Kraken Shell is really nice for is giving you initiative to use some of the other cards we use in this deck, which we'll get onto it later on in this video. But while we're here, let's talk about Tidehunter. Tidehunter is our 5th hero, so he's coming out on mana round 5 and turn 3. With 2 attack, 1 armor and 18 health, this chunky red hero has an ability called Ravage. On an active ability with 4 turns cooldown, not 0, that's just a bug in the beta. So every 4 turns, you can stun Tidehunter's enemy neighbours this round, and each other enemy has a 50% chance of being stunned this round. Very rarely use the ability, Tidehunter's more here just to be a solid red caster. This deck requires you to have red heroes on the board, ready to go, and of course, the entire reason for having Tidehunter is Kraken Shell. We need this card. Moving on to our next card, and I've only got 1 of these in. It's the green spell Duke. For 1 mana, swap an ally with one of its allied neighbours. This card has saved me so many times. I can't believe how many times this little card has saved me. I might up the amount I have in here, honestly. I wouldn't remove it, I would probably add more. But this is one of those sort of personal preference cards that if there is another low-cost sort of techie card you want to put in, if there's a slightly different meta trying to come through and you think you could do with more, I don't know, improvement removal or something, then by all means take this out and put that in. It is exchangeable, but this card can have some really good effects. There's a lot of units in here that need to be positioned well so they can buff better. If they're in danger, having the ability to swap them out with something else is really nice. Next up, we have our Bronze Legionnaires. There's just 2 of these, but they are quite important. This entire deck is sort of revolving around, obviously, Annihilation, but your own win condition is getting lots of big units on the, well, small units on the board and buffing them up to be big. But with 3 red heroes and 2 green heroes, and most of the units being green, sometimes you just need a red unit to go down on a board. This happens quite often. You've put sort of Mists of Avernus, which we'll get to in a minute. You've put like 2 Mists of Avernus in a lane, but there's only a red hero there. You need something to spawn there, so you can put some Bronze Legionnaires down. Really good value for just 2 mana. A fantastic card. Moving on to one of our first Annihilopes, it is Duel, and with it Legion Commander. Duel is a 2 mana red spell that allows you to choose an allied red hero and another unit, and they battle each other. This is fantastic if there's just 1 enemy hero that's ready to cast. Grant yourself initiative before this lane, move into this lane, and then duel that Zeus, duel that Luna, duel something that needs to get its damage out, or rather its spell out, before they can do so. Of course, with that, you get Legion Commander, who is fantastic at dueling these red casters. Wanna know why? Well, it's her Moment of Courage passive. Legion Commander has +2 Retaliate, so on top of her 6 actual attack, and of course 1 armor 8 health, that gives her 8 attack in a duel, which is enough to kill Luna, it's enough to kill Zeus. 6 attack itself is enough to kill Skywrath Mage. Point being, it can kill a lot of these blue casters. It can kill Earthshaker, who is also, a very good blue caster, especially against this deck. So, Legion Commander, give her initiative, get her a duel, and take out that that blue caster, sorry. Of course, this does only work if there's only one caster in the lane, but we have other surprises in store for those other examples. Moving on to one of the quintessential cards in this deck, Mists of Avernus, a 3-mana green improvement that modifies allies with +1 attack before the action phase. This is the heart of the deck, effectively. This is how you win the game. You can avoid losing the game with things like Duel. Mists of Avernus and all the creeps are how you win. Try and play this in a upcoming lane rather. So if you're in lane 1, play it in lane 2 or 3. If you're in lane 2, play it in lane 3. We'll see examples of that in the gameplay. This ability just really increases your ramp a lot, and if the enemy can't stop it, you're going to spiral out of control. Unearthed Secrets is another 3-mana green improvement that lets you draw a card after the combat phase if your tower was dealt damage this round. This card is so good. This card is fantastic. This really increases the consistency of your deck, and that is something that decks that don't have Unearthed Secrets, which is, as far as I'm aware, the best draw card in the game so far, they struggle with. Their consistency will be much less higher. Yeah, that's good English. Won't be as good as yours, because this card just oozes consistency. Put it in a lane that you're going to lose because you can cast it from anywhere, and you're going to guaranteed draw every turn. Draw this turn 1, play it turn 1, and you'll have draws consistently throughout the game. You will always have the cards you need. This is a must-have in this deck, and I'd almost definitely have 3, if not, just make sure you have 2 at least. Legion's Standard Bearer is my first card that I put in, and you can probably easily swap this. He's the card that I got to reveal, so he's got a special place in my heart, and I try and fit him into every deck that I possibly can, because I feel like I kind of have to. Thanks, Valve. Legion Standard Bearer is a 4-mana red creep with 0 attack and 6 health, and he gives his allied neighbours +4 attack. Now, as much as I joke about having to include him because of my own personal reasons, he has actually won me quite a few games. Enemies don't usually see the extra +4 attack coming, and he's really nice to sort of put it at the end of a board and then put beyond that one of your maybe squishier units that you want to keep alive. So really good for expanding your board, really great attack, decent body, and he very rarely has 0 attack himself because of all the other buffing that goes on, which, again, you'll see as you go through, but things like Mr. Avernus can help buff this guy up. Next is Gust, and with it, Drow Ranger. We'll talk about it the other way around first. Drow Ranger, because we just finished this point. Drow Ranger is one of those things that can buff up those units. Precision Aura, her ability, gives other allies in all lanes +1 attack. So your 0 attack Legion Standard Bearer now has 1 attack. Everyone now has +1 attack. And this can't be overlooked. This is absolutely massive and is exponentially better the more units that are on the board. So Drow Ranger herself, pretty useful. She can survive long enough if you put her in a lane that's you don't really need to contest. Usually she goes in my dead lane, or at least her lane becomes my dead lane, because her herself isn't that integral to your game plan. Her passive is, but she can do that from anywhere. Moving on to Gust. Gust is one of the Annihilate cards, rather. This is fantastic, and it's green's Annihilate card. Gust, silence enemy heroes this round for 4 mana. All enemy heroes in this lane. So if the enemy has 3 blue heroes, if the enemy has 5 blue heroes in this lane, and they want to cast some crazy annihilation play, for some reason killing 5 of their own heroes, okay, they wouldn't do that. Say they want to cast Thunder God's Wrath or Eclipse or something, and they want to decimate you that way. Gust completely shuts them all down, silences every single one of them, and oh, this is such a good card. Gust is amazing, Drow Ranger's passive, amazing, her body could do better, but definitely have her in your deck. Rampaging Hellbear and Satyr Duelist. I'll talk about these two guys together because they're basically the same thing, but there's multiple of them. So the idea behind these cards are they ramp up. They ramp up every time you get attack, and they ramp up in attack. That's the important thing to make it. We don't have Savage Wolf because that ramps in health. We want to ramp in attack because we're trying to beat control decks, and they come online 2 or 3 turns after you're able to play these cards. So you get these cards looking scary. They ramp up twice. Rampaging Hellbear becomes a 10 attack, 3 health, and Satyr Duelist becomes a 7 attack, 5 health. You ramp these guys up, and then you annihilate the enemy, and then they suddenly panic because you've got these huge units, they haven't been dealing with them, and all of a sudden they can't deal with them, and then you win the game. So those two are your personal win conditions. And now we're going to get onto the next two cards that can completely destroy Annihilate. They are Enough Magic, the 5 mana red spell, proceed to the combat phase, and the 5 mana green improvement, Cheating Death. So we'll go through Enough Magic first. Both of these cards need us to say, you need initiative. You have these, you don't use them on mana turn 5, you use them on mana turn 6 and 7. You have initiative going into the lane that the enemy want to completely annihilate, and you cast one of these. Enough Magic is the better of the two, proceed straight to the combat phase, no Annihilate, they usually don't see it coming unless they check your deck lists. Just completely smash through the enemy, sometimes even just destroying their tower. Sometimes they'll think, you know what, I don't care, he's got tower killed here, we have Annihilation, we're just going to kill everything anyway. But then you Enough Magic and he's doomed. The other option, being Cheating Death, a little less useful because you do have to rely on RNG, but praise RNGesus and maybe you'll do just fine. Cheating Death, if there is an allied green hero in this lane, allies have a 50% chance of surviving with 1 health when they die. This card is just really fun. I do like some RNG in my games, and to be honest, you're spending 5 mana and like Cheating Death isn't as good as Enough Magic. Enough Magic for this purpose is definitely better. So it's the same cost, you have to rely on RNG. If you do get that unit surviving, I don't want to hear the enemy complaining about RNG, because, like I said, there are better cards out there. So Cheating Death can work sometimes, it's nice to have. And this is one card that you can play on mana turn 5, rather than playing it on round 6. So prepare with Cheating Death, just in case you don't draw your Enough Magic or something. But it's nice to have either way. Moving down our list further, we now have Verdant Refuge, and with it, Enchantress. So Enchantress is probably the first hero of these I would say you could swap out. You could swap her for a Lycan if you want more damage, or maybe you want even crazier healing, so you want an Omni-Knight instead. But I went for Enchantress, and her card Verdant Refuge is strong but not the reason we're picking her. 5 mana improvement, allies have +1 armor. It's really nice to have in the lane that you're fighting in. You can cast it from your dead lane if your Drow Ranger's stuck there. It's just a nice card to have, and you notice it. A lot of the blue heroes have low attack, so it makes it a lot harder for them to kill your creeps. Enchantress herself is the reason we picked the hero. 4 attack, 0 armor and 8 health, Enchantress's ability, Nature's Attendance, grants Enchantress +2 regeneration, and her allied neighbours have +2 regeneration. This is delightful, for lack of a better word. Delightful is a great way to explain this card, because your creeps will basically never die. You'll power up these amazing creeps, and they will keep taking hit after hit after hit, so long as they're next to Enchantress. And honestly, she does wonders in the lane that you're fighting in. There's usually a lane that you can easily win, there's a lane that the enemy can easily win, and there's a lane that you have to fight for. Enchantress is your fighting hero. She is your center part. She is the thing that you want to battle around. And I absolutely love watching enemies try and bash their heads into my creeps and just having them heal up for 2 damage every single turn, no matter what. Our next and final hero in the early phase of being played out, I should have said Enchantress is in the 4th stage. Maybe you want to put her out in the first 3. Sometimes I feel like I did. Sometimes I feel like I'd be better off with my bigger red heroes, such as Beastmaster. 5 attack, 0 armor and 12 health. Again, pretty tanky, very reliable for casting spells. His ability Call of the Wild is an active on a 3-turn cooldown, will let you summon yet another unit to the board, which is fantastic. But again, we're picking him for his signature spell card. Primal Roar, 7 mana this time, so you can't annihilate it, but it does work wonders against Thunder God's Wrath. Stun a unit blocking an allied red hero this round, and move the unit's allies to random other lanes. So this is the Thunder God's Wrath counter. If there's an enemy Zeus and an enemy Luna in your lane, one of them's opposite you, one of them's next to them, one of them is going to be able to cast Thunder God's Wrath, right? Well, not so right. Primal Roar, stun the one that are directly across from you, and the other one gets flung into the 3rd lane where Thunder God's Wrath isn't really going to matter anymore. So this is a really nice alternative. Like I said, Beastmaster is the red hero that you can swap in and out, as well as maybe Tidehunter you can swap, but you need to start getting some initiative. So I'd leave Tidehunter in and I'd swap Beastmaster out if you desperately want a different red hero. Maybe you want to look for Axe for more confirmed damage, or maybe you want Centaur Warrunner because apparently you can't deal without Sunsfan. So yeah, Beastmaster, really good unit, and Primal is fantastic. Now we move on to our 2 8-mana cards, and you can probably guess exactly which ones they are. We're going with Time of Triumph for our 8-mana red card. This is the be-all and end-all of red. If it gets to turn 8, you have a Time of Triumph, and you've got a couple of heroes on the board. Because of how aggressive this deck is, it's unlikely the enemy is going to be able to survive the damage from Time of Triumph, just the siege damage. So this can easily be a winner, and likewise the siege damage from Thunderhide Pack can win you the game as well. So Thunderhide Pack is our 8-mana green card. Quickly just going through the items, these you can definitely change up. You'll see one in a second, you can definitely change. So Stonehall Pike, brilliant on Tidehunter. Tidehunter needs Stonehall items because he never dies. Same with Beastmaster, I guess, but really good on Tide. +2 attack, that gets him up to 4, he can kill creeps, and it gets a +1 attack every single phase. So really nice item for Tidehunter or Beastmaster if you have to. Casimir Hourglass, you don't need this card. I just think it's really funny. Adding +1 lock to enemies. If I can pick this up early and there's nothing better for me to buy at the time, I'll get it for the fun factor. This is a card game. It's a game. Like, I am here to have fun. I know you guys want to be super, super competitive and you want to go and win that $1 million prize. Be my guest. I'm going to be here trolling you with Plasma Hourglass. Enjoy. Red Miss Maul is our next item. +5 siege. You'll notice something here. Sieges, I like to get some siege out of my items because this deck itself, until you get to 8 mana, doesn't have much siege, and the enemy, if they're playing well, will block you where they can. So siege is just a nice guarantee of damage, I guess. Moving into Shield of Aquila. This is probably my favourite item of the deck. The equipped hero has +2 armor, and his neighbours have +3 armor. This is fantastic for buffing up those creeps that keep powering and powering and powering up. Stick this on your Enchantress and have your Hellbear next to her, and that Hellbear will never die. +3 armor and +2 regeneration every single turn. Yeah, he's just going to keep buffing until he kills the enemy in one hit. Cloak of Endless Carnage is also in this deck. You can definitely swap this out, but equipped hero has +8 health and draw a card after an allied neighbour of the equipped hero dies. You have a lot of creeps. The equipped heroes are probably going to be around things that die a lot. You don't really need the card draw though, so I could almost definitely see you swapping this out. And finally, just 2 amazing items. We have Vesture of the Tyrant for rapid deployment and +3 tower armor. Just an all-around amazing card, probably the best item card at the moment, I would say. And then Horn of Alpha for that giant Thunderhide Pack. More siege damage, active 2 turns, this thing you can just win the game if you get there. So we're going into a game that I've had to set up to make sure we get the right matchup of our Nope deck against an Annihilation deck. The bot is set to Advanced, I think, or if not higher, so it should be a pretty decent fight for us. But I more so want to show off the mechanics of the deck and show you how you're really looking to benefit here. So if we're lucky enough in this first round, Bounty Hunter does not get his passive. This is a bit unfortunate. We've got 2 3-mana green improvements, which would both be fantastic to be placed in the other lanes. But unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do it because we've only got a red hero in the first lane. And this is a bit of an issue you come into because you start with 2 red heroes on the board. So we're just going to have to pass here. And in our next lane with Drow, we have to decide Unearth Secrets or Mist of Avernus. I think I'm going to go with Mist of Avernus in the final lane. Maybe. Yeah, I'm going to go with Mist of Avernus in that final lane. We've already got 2 creeps there, so it'll be a pretty good boon for us to get that going. Bounty Hunter's dead next turn. So are we, but we can maybe put Enchantress there and keep him alive. This is fantastic. We want Drow to take as little damage as possible. Drow is absolutely key to our strategy. Keeping her on the board and giving everything +1 attack is really handy. Especially now there's track on Drow. So maybe we want to double down. Maybe we'll put Tidehunter here to protect her later. Or something similar. Into lane 3, and we get the Mist of Avernus buff. So this is why we put it in a future lane, so you get to trigger it even on the first turn. And now my creep, as you see here, is killing their creep. Straight off. Without me having to do anything. We're not worried about red cards to yet first, so there's not too much you have to worry about in this first round. Just getting those improvements down, one or the other, is exactly what you want to look to do. I'm going to get a healing salve so I can keep my Drow or my Beastmaster alive. So now I've got to decide which is going to be my second lane. Where I want to commit to. And to be honest, this lane is kind of looking nice. Because we do want to put some units in here to start buffing them up. Legion is very healthy though. She's not going to go down anytime soon. So I'm actually going to go with this first lane. We're going to make this our second lane. In this deck, basically you commit to 2 lanes. It's very hard to commit to 3. You usually just leave something like Drow Ranger in the 3rd lane. Or Tidehunter slowly getting his ability online. So we are still going to be losing Beastmaster here. There's another Mist. And a Kraken Shell, nice. Bounty Hunter, he didn't get his trigger again, so we can just healing salve our unit. I don't think they had too much 4 mana. Oh no, they've got pick off, so or hipfire, sorry. So let's heal up Beastmaster to make sure he doesn't die and give the enemy 10 freaking gold. Dimensional Portal, that's kind of annoying. What do I want to do here then? Do I want to start ramping up one of these heroes in this lane, or do I want to get Mists going in the final lane and then maybe go for an Ancient Rush or something? Let's do that. Double Mist in the final lane, and we're going to make that the lane that we push hard for. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a green hero there yet. I did commit Enchantress to this lane. So it's going to be a bit of a struggle there. This middle lane, there's not an awful lot going on. I could have played the Mist of Avernus from here. That probably was the better play, but now I get my unearthed secrets down, I can start drawing a bit more. And there's our first draw, another Kraken Shell. So we definitely have initiative whenever we need it. Look at that, +2 for everyone. Prey on the weak, that's kind of annoying. We don't have any way to deal with this either. So that's going to kill off 2 of our creeps now. But we'll just pass into that. We have initiative for the next round, which is nice. They're going to cash in Red Tail investments. I noticed the bots do this quite a bit. Players seem to wait a little bit longer, but maybe the bots are just overly worried we have some way of killing that off. So, shopping phase, we've got 9, they've got 7. Potion of Knowledge isn't bad, but we do have draw now, so we don't have to worry too much. Stone Hall Pike's probably nice here because Tidehunter's coming and we can give that to him straight away. Don't necessarily have to be on Tidehunter, but it's just fantastic on Tidehunter in general. And I think we now have to commit to this first lane with Tide, because we've already got 2 heroes there. They might commit to killing off Drow with their Zeus, but he's probably going to go in this first lane. No, he's going in the mid. So, of course, the bot does want to at least win 1 lane. He's already losing 2 of them. So, well, I say losing 2 of them. He's winning this far lane, technically, because we still can't spawn anything over there. It would definitely misplay for me to put Enchantress here, but you win some, you lose some, you know? And we do have a Bronze Legionnaire now, so we can spawn something over there. And this is an important card. Like, I put Bronze Legionnaire in here for a good reason, to make sure that we could definitely get something going. I'm pretty safe that pretty sure that the Rampaging Hellbearer will be safe over here. So over there you go, my friend. Wrath of Gold. Oh, that's unfortunate. He spent all of his gold. The animation's a bit rubbish in the beta stage. But yeah, so there goes our Crippler. That's annoying. But they killed off all their own units as well, so I guess we'll take that one. I'm actually going to buff Tidehunter up so we can kill that creep, and he can start getting the bonus from that weapon. So mid lane, we've kind of given this up now. Drow can survive. We can put Cheating Death in another lane, which is nice if they don't kill Drow. Yep, Cunning Plan to swap, so they're definitely killing Drow. So we're definitely going to put Cheating Death in another lane. And I think I might put it in this final lane. There's no threat of it in the first lane, so here. Definitely a good choice for me. So next turn is importantly the Annihilation turn. So we need to be, if we're not drawing enough magic, then we need to worry about that. Let's get Bronze Legionnaire going. It doesn't take any damage from these, so let's just put it here. It'll clear quite easily. If he passes, we Kraken Shell now, just to make sure we have initiative. Nope, he preyed on the weak. Again. This tower's taking a little bit of damage. I'm not too happy with that, but we have Verdant Refuge and Kraken Shell for next turn if you want. So we can Verdant in the first lane and Kraken Shell if we're not worried about Annihilation. He doesn't have a blue hero to put there, actually, so he can only annihilate the middle lane. Oh, my dear. Oh, dear. So this is something the bots, I've noticed, are actually bad at doing. And it's a shame that I have to play against bots, but I want to guarantee this matchup, and in the beta, very few people are actually playing regular matchmaking. So we make do of what we've got. So the Bounty Hunter committing to that final lane, so he does definitely want to win that final lane. It's so nice on turn 6 not to have to worry about annihilation. Whew, that feels good. Okay, so if we want to play a unit here, we kind of want to play one here first and then another one. But we don't have any Bronze Legionnaires, so we're just going to have to go for a 4 mana. Do we start developing a Satyr? I think so. Yeah, let's go with the Satyr. He passes.
I know I will reach my full potential.
Do we want to blink anyone over to that far lane? Maybe Enchantress? Where's she going to go? In front of one of these. So yeah, I think that's the play. I think we get Enchantress out of here. Blink. Pshoo. Boink. So we used our green mana, and then we blinked Enchantress out. I like that. I like that play. This is dead next turn. Probably. Hopefully. We're going to draw another... Oh, no, we're not going to draw a card. They're both pointing... Okay. They're wasting the clips. There's some tower damage going, I guess. It does save Lich. And this is... They need to win this lane. They absolutely need to win this lane. But I do get another secret. And I'm not losing too much tower damage. Oh, they healed Lich, so they could have just done that. The bots are a bit janky. I apologize. Future decks will definitely be... Oh. Damn. Well, there you go. There's Obliterating Orb. And that's a really nice item to have against this deck, because we have a lot of really nice improvements. Yeah, as I was saying, in future we will be using more footage from actual games, but at the moment, with the beta maybe being launched soon, who knows? I'm sure you'll know because this will be recorded during beta and you'll be playing when this is released. My point generally being is that I wasn't sure how long I had to record this, so I just wanted to get it out as soon as possible. So here we are. So what am I looking at here? I probably want to start getting a Duelist up or a Legion Standard Bearer, but I don't see any need for a Legion Standard Bearer at the moment, so I might as well get the Duelist going.
Enchantress, with you by my side,
there's another Revtel investments, and I'm happy to pass. I also have initiative for the next round. He has 2 blue heroes coming back. So now we really have to worry about that annihilation, especially in this final lane if he puts his blue hero here. So maybe we need to carry initiative through the mid lane for sure. So we need initiative after the first lane. That's how you've got to calculate it. You just look in this top corner and you're like, I need initiative here. I pass here anyway, so I need initiative in this lane when I pass. What do we want? Shield of Aquila is quite nice. Because we have so many units like surrounding other units, and with just 6 gold left we're never going to get to Vestia, so let's just get a flask because we're in the closing stages now. This is a 7 mana turn. We are going for the win soon. We don't have any other way to finish this tower off, but I still think I'm going to commit to this last lane. Definitely so. Hopefully they'll put a blue hero. Yeah, so they put Kana in this first lane. That is kind of annoying. They could annihilate this lane, but I'm not too worried about that. This lane is basically doomed anyway. Ah, no, the arrow. So many annoying arrows. Honestly, Prey on the Weak has saved them. Prey on the Weak is such a... Yes! Enough magic. Yes, Gust. Okay, so we can just enough magic this lane and Gust the last lane, right? Yeah. Enough magic. Boom. If we draw another enough magic, that first lane's dead. There's nothing she can do to stop me. Oh, this is painful. Oh, I lose 2 heroes. Oh, that's so bad. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Forgot about Thunder God's Wrath. Probably should have accounted for it. I mean, that's not terrible.
You're no good to me, dead.
It could be worse. Definitely be worse. So we can Shield of Aquila or Fountain Flask even. But let's Gust first, yeah? Yeah. You ain't doing nothing. Nothing this turn. No, you cashed in your reptile. Cool. Right, Fountain Flask the Legion.
My thanks.
I've got some health now. Even if I Shield of Aquila the Legion, this creep with loads of attack would still die, so that's a bit of a shame, but just going to have to be how it goes. So let's Kraken Shell. Has to be Legion, doesn't it? Kraken Shell the Legion, so we've got initiative.
Lead from the front. I need to be ready for anything.
And that is a big swing for us. So Thunder God's Wrath, yes, it was okay for them, but it was brilliant for us. We just destroyed that round. I've got this in my item deck just because I think it's a hilarious card. I love this card. We're going to get a Potion of Knowledge just in case we don't get enough magic. Or a Gust. They don't have any new heroes to place this lane, but so it's really this first lane we need to worry about. So we kind of need to draw it straight up. But the item that locks enemy cards when they draw is useless at this point. I'm probably going to take that out. The item deck with this is basically low-cost items. You want low-cost items that buff units either side. Not enough magic. Yes, enough magic. Alright. We don't win this round, but we do kill... It's not worth the risk, is it? It's just... Oh, wait. Do we risk? Do we risk the Ravage? Let's risk the Ravage. Hey! Wait, what? Oh, no, it didn't stun the Karna. Oh no, disaster. Well, slight disaster. We can actually just place this here and win this lane now. Yep. Unless it's for 1 mana. Vesture of the Tyrant. No, that's not going to help you. So we can just keep casting and then Kraken Shell. So we've got initiative in the last lane. Primal Roar's quite nice. Kraken Shell, then pass. That was nice, actually. We kept our big unit alive. So he's got this lane, nothing we can do. If he's got another Thunder Gods, maybe this is bad. No, he paydays. I can't see much. Legion's got 3 health, yeah. So this would have been really bad if he had Thunder Gods. Not really bad, but like we're not losing either of these lanes. But it wouldn't have been fantastic. Ironfall Goldmine. Too little too late, mate. That's not going to help. Can't wait to scream enough magic in your face. Is that... Yeah, that's... Oh, wait. He doesn't have a single hero here. It's over. Oh, we're just going to play for the... We're going to play the nasty cards then. Stop playing items. Look, I know you know you're going to lose. But you should know you're going to lose. You're a bot. I wonder if they programmed BM into the bots. That would have been fantastic. Oh, the only thing I can cast is enough magic. Let's end it with a card that is the be-all and end-all of a Naya Nope. Enough magic. Nope. It was nice playing, Mr. Bot. Unless you have annihilation in the first lane, this is over. There's nothing really we want here. I guess we buy Bristol Emblem just for the extra attack if we need it. Healing yourself just in case. This is the last round. There's no way this 1 health survives. He does get 2 heroes there. He's going to summon something else there as well. But we do have Primal Roar. Tidehunter's not central, which is kind of annoying. But hopefully we should have at least 1 unit that has a direct line. Unless we get completely demolished by arrows. Oh, 2 arrows went into Bounty Hunter. It was nearly a disaster. But not quite. A Gust here would be absolutely just amazing as well. Standard Bearer. Oh, we already have a Gust. Never mind. Oh, Chain Frost. Oh, that was kind of annoying. But I'm going to stop you from doing anything else because I win.
I'll kill our enemies.
You can poaching knife as much as you like, mate. Nothing's stopping that Enchantress from hitting that tower. And there it is. So, I mean, enough magic was the real winner there. We kind of knew that we could do 1 damage to this first tower. So yeah, there you go. There is the deck. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below, guys, and let me know how well you do it with it. I really don't want to succumb to control, as bad as that sounds. I get the appeal of control. It's like it's a really fun archetype. It's just not really my style. I always try to find a way around playing control, and I absolutely love playing swarmy decks. I love having lots of friends. The only way I get them. Cry. So, on that rather somber note, thank you very much for watching. If you do want to be my friend, along with Satyr Duelist and Hellbear Crippler that's died instantly, feel free to smash that like and subscribe button, and as always, hit the bell so you never miss another video. I've been Divok of the Artificers Guild, and thank you for watching.